Here we go. Hey! Another week!
Oh, it's gone.
Lowestoft Community Podcast, and today we have a special guest. Woo! And some of you from Podcast Land and Video Land will know who he is, but for those that don't, we have Will.
Oh, hello.
He's a chatty chappy.
I am indeed. People always want to shut me up.
Yeah. So you have to get quite close to that.
Yeah, I'm going to turn all these up.
So Will has come on because he's running some projects, and rather than us tell you about it, we thought, well, come and tell us yourself. So he's here to tell us what he gets up to.
Nice one.
Yes.
So you might as well just go for his
How's it all going? We're just
it's going great. It's going great. No, I don't know when my cue is to talk. So.
Well,
I heard, whenever you like.
Well, interestingly, because I mentioned this earlier, because I heard a rumour that the Barge project was getting canned or something. Then randomly in the front of the journal, couldn't have been that long ago, it was like the Barge is opening. There's a beautiful picture of you lot all finished and stuff. So what happened there? Was that all just rumour then that it was getting canned?
No. We've had a few slight delays financially. I think the idea was the barge came out of the water originally to have lots of repair work done to her. She had a lot of what they call overplating done to the barge to make it fit for purpose, so to pass its survey. But what we did while we were out of the water, we'd already been doing lots of grinding and hammering with chip hammers inside and out. Bear in mind, it's a very large barge, and we're trying to do it all single-handedly with small bits of kit.
We were really surprised. We've been and visited it last year sometime, and when we all got there, we all walked down there and got lost, didn't we? We thought,
for those who
can't wait to have parties on this thing.
Know what it is.
Tell them what it is.
We're just talking about it, and it's like someone might not know.
It's a 100-year-old Dutch barge. It was actually built in New Holland on a Leicestershire design. A Lancashire design. And it was commissioned by a company in Bristol, where it was a dredger. And then the company that took over, the company that owned it or commissioned it, was actually Cadbury's. And Cadbury's turned it into a refueling tanker. So they actually fitted loads of big tanks in it. And it used to basically carry 200 tons of fuel out to lots of vessels across Bristol at the time, but then Lowestoft, refueling all the tankers, and that was in the war.
What was this? Cadbury's, as in chocolate Cadbury's?
As in chocolate Cadbury's.
No, we don't fuel them.
Yes. It didn't.
Learn something every day on here, don't you?
Yes, it didn't.
Say it every week.
Didn't carry chocolate, unfortunately. I had looked around for a few bars, but there's nothing there.
Just a chocolate barge floating around.
Yes. No, and I know it was brought to Lowestoft around about, I think, 60 years ago, maybe a bit longer than that probably, and it was then brought by Esso, Small & Co., and it was basically a working refueling tanker for lots of the big ships that come through and past Lowestoft. So
excellent. So how did you come to acquire it?
In a moment of madness. I was looking for a canal boat to live on, actually.
Impulse purchase.
Yeah, it was. You couldn't have got any more impulse than this. I'd been sent it by a couple of friends, and I actually only really was going over there to be a bit nosy. I wasn't even going to buy it, and I was looking for a canal boat to live on. And I thought, I'll just go and have a look. But when I got there and I heard about the history, I was just like, I was already, I'd already left my job in London in environmental protection monitoring. Oh. And so I was already looking for a new chapter. I kind of had to become a full-time dad. So I was looking for I was actually going to start up a men's group at the time. It was very fashionable, lots of men's groups going around. I didn't want to be sexist.
I think that's good though. They're important.
Like
men's mental health is on the decline at the moment. Yeah. So men's groups are very good.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think...
hang on a minute.
We've
got a bit of interference here. Can you ask Sean to stop doing that?
Sean!
It's actually picking it up,
Sean,
sorry.
Stop. It's too loud.
Yeah, we didn't think it would be, but there you go.
Sorry.
All right. Nice one for getting that customer in as well. Good man.
Okay, right. Carry on.
Yes. So I was obviously looking for a barge to live on. I went there to have a look around. Walked in there because I was going to obviously set up a men's group. I decided when I went in there that I just had to do something with this, and I just, with the price tag at the time was £6,000, but then we realised it was going to cost £8,000 to get it down the river. So it was 10,000 with the purchase of the barge. Yeah. So, and that was getting it on the slip as well. I mean, that was
like hefty packaging and postage extra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You order something really cheap off of Amazon, and then the package and postage is more money.
Yeah, it was very much like that. And it was a big gamble, I'm not going to lie, because we didn't know when we got this boat on the slip whether we could actually do anything with it. It could have been we got the boat up onto the slip and they said, actually, this is beyond repair. So we could have just been sat there dismantling it.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Real gamble then.
High risk, man.
It was, but I was given some money from an employment that I left. It was a bit of a thank you gift. I earned them a lot of money whilst working there. So it was a bit of easy come, easy go, but it was an educated gamble, by the way. I had 3 water surveys done, which isn't the same as a proper survey. So it was a bit of an educated gamble, but one that paid off. And we actually had once we had the survey done and the estimation, just as what they call a float away, I think it was estimated to be about 75,000. But we've actually put that into trust for the CIC community project that we've now become.
Fantastic.
Wee.
Oh, nice.
So when we came down, inside was completely gutted. Have you done anything with that?
Yeah. So it's still,
Insert pictures here.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So if you'll see on the picture we put them on, it is still completely gutted, but it is now painted completely gutted.
Well, that's a step forward.
It is. We came into a bit of a problem. I say we got a problem. We got an architect involved, which was great, and he gave up his free time. His name's Albert, and he's amazing what he does as a marine architect. Ooh. And we explained... Great Albert, yes, absolutely. Oh, the whole team are amazing. Yeah. I know we'll probably mention about those hopefully during the podcast, but we kind of figured out that the roof probably wouldn't be fit for purpose because we want to have, as people may or may not know, it's going to be a tea room bar restaurant subject to planning and lots of other complications and location and things like that. But we figured out that the roof would not be suitable. So the architect come up with a new plan. The roofs cost a hell of a lot of money and a hell of a lot of work. So at the moment, everything's kind of stopped and we're just working on the roof. But that should be done in the end of June.
Cool.
Well, that's important because you've got to get that sorted before you can do anything else, haven't you? Because of the rain.
Yes.
Yep.
We're in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a canopy roof. It looks like Shantytown at the moment. It doesn't look ideal. But we come up on the slip in June, end of June, and in that time we'll have the new roof. So we put all what they call the ribs, so the centre beams in, and the ribs to hold the roof on. The new big panels, they're sort of 6 mil thick, are going to be lowered into place for the roof and welded on. And then we can then start, the new portholes will go on at the end of June. So we've got new stainless steel portholes that have been made by an outside company, Stevenage Metals, and they've actually donated lots of metal and steel. We in terms of money wise, where at the moment, I mean, so far, we're probably with some investment, we're about £120,000 in now to this build.
Wow.
So,
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And half of that has come from companies and people within the community who have donated in one way or another. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And you, most of the people working there, they're volunteers?
Yeah, we've got about 32 people now involved in...
Wow.
Not just the barge, but as you guys may know, we have also occupied some space over at the old hospital just next door to us.
So they're our neighbours now.
I did not know that.
You guys are doing
We
that as
are.
well.
You know when we were doing the podcast and we were saying about they were asking people on Facebook to help clear the site.
It was for them.
That was for them.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, lovely.
We were telling you about
Yeah.
it. That was for Will.
That was for
And I didn't know it was for Will at the time.
No. We've kindly, so we're doing a bit of a collab with Reutilise over at the back at the old hospital. We have been kindly given some space to basically we've built some. We've reconditioned the whole entire upstairs of the building just behind us, and we will have the barge when it's up and running. The profits from the barge will go to the CIC Anchor Point House, as we've called it. Obviously, a good sturdy name and very much in line with what we're trying to achieve and do. And we'll have a mind, body, and soul room. Mind room.
I'm there. Sign me up.
Yeah. It's
Yoga sound bath thing.
Yeah,
Oh
sound
my
bath,
gosh.
yoga,
It's
meditation.
it's going to be next door.
Yes, it's going to be next door.
We're going to be
Thank
going,
you,
where's
Will.
Kit?
Yeah.
Next
It's
door
late for work again.
Gone round to the
I'm
neighbours.
just next on.
Sean wants to go. Hey, I've got two now. Sean wants to go as well.
We'll sign them up. We're going to have a drop in once we're up and going. We've got lots of hoops. We've got to work with the council. We've got a lot of work to do to actually get it open. We're putting the foundations in. The room's decorated. You know, there's lots of work to be done in terms of health and safety. And
Is that going to be open every day with that, or just a few days a week?
so the plan is we're actually going to do one drop-in day for the community, and it's more for so people, if they're on universal credit, you know, so the financial disadvantaged can obviously get the treatments like at half price, and then if anyone wants to support the charity, can come and use the treatments at full price. But the idea is actually that we're going to be running hopefully 12-week courses, and basically it's going to be pretty much a Prince's Trust, but for people with mental health, mental disabilities and things like that. So they'll do the course and it'll work on attendance. They'll do 1 day of mind, body and soul, which will be all the mindfulness and some actually nice treatments, but also art therapy, pottery, glass making, because we're combining with Reutilise. And then 1 day will be actually out in the community. So we've got a minibus which Waveney Football Club have kindly allowed us to be using. So we'll go out with a team of people once a week, and we'll go and work either for elderly, disabled, low-funded projects in the community. Bit like 60-minute makeover, but it'll probably be more like a day. And we'll go out and the barge will pay for all that. So we want to. At the end of the course, they get to have a big trip as well. And,
And what about volunteers? That volunteer for a place, run the place, totally bedraggled, don't earn any money.
Yeah.
And the neighbours, what sort of treatment reductions do they get?
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys can come in.
Care about them, I'm talking about me.
We'll put you on.
Get some mates rates.
Yeah.
we just realised we just brought on our biggest rival who swamped us. That's the end of today's show. I'm now depressed. I'm going to go next door.
No, we're really keen on collaboration.
Oh, so am I.
Excellent.
And we have since we've started this, and because we've got our drumming circle, it's just getting bigger and bigger on a Wednesday morning.
Amazing.
We two more were supposed to turn up today, but unfortunately, who was bringing them over couldn't bring them over in the end. And they're just getting so good, and it's making them feel good. I've got some of them here now sitting behind the camera, but it makes them feel good to hear themselves, it all being in time now that they're doing so well with it.
Yeah.
So
You can't have community without different places working together.
That's right,
You need
yeah.
that, like,
And doing
otherwise
something a bit
community falls
different.
apart if everyone's at loggerheads of one
Yeah.
another. It's crazy when it's like that.
Yeah.
And this is why we love having Adam on board, because Adam knows more or less all the other organisations around the town. So you help with the collaboration.
How? I just somehow talk to all the right people. It's the same with the pub scene. Like when you've got like all the pubs out to get one another, you just end up with no pubs.
Yes.
Whereas when you've got like a line of pubs that are working together and realise, oh, we're a pub crawl.
Yeah.
You've got suddenly they're all making money.
100%.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And there's lots of places that we're still not tapped into. And I think as we become one of the things that we kind of really kind of found a little kind of loophole in the system is people over the age of 25, they don't actually have, there's no budget available for them. So people with low-level autism, low-level, learning difficulties, low-level or mental health, and they're not on the list. There's nothing available, because one of the first questions that charities will ask is, how old are you? And as soon as they say over 25, there's nothing. There's nothing available.
Well, this is one of the reasons the Unity Centre opened, because when my son got to 19 and I started becoming aware he was leaving education, and even at 19, there was, I mean, this was years ago now, there's now Top Cats is brilliant, and Involve Active, they're brilliant. But there wasn't really places out there when they got older for places like My Jake to go to.
You used to sit where I worked at the Navigator. So many people that fall through the cracks. And there was no help for them at all.
So me and my other son Ben opened the Unity Centre, so they at least had somewhere to come and sit and chat to each other and feel like they got somewhere they belong. And we were told it would never work because we weren't relying on benefits or grants that they were getting, as it was at the time.
The same. We want to be sustainable.
Yeah. And they were saying you're not sustainable and you won't work. You know, well, it's been 2011 we officially opened, and not only have we worked, we've expanded twice.
Yeah. So I've gone through all of that. So I actually feel, you know, the hardships that you faced there, because, and one of the reasons why we're still actually going, because there's been so many touch and go moments, but one of the reasons we're still going is I offer a man and van service, and I already had some events equipment, so staging and things like that place for events. So what I've done is I've basically said any profits go.
The brain is going.
So we're actually got lots of gigs lined up. We're doing the Hopton Family Event Day. We're doing the carnival for the carnival day with the Seagull Theatre. We're doing Hemsby. We've got Hemsby booked in. We've got quite a lot of shows, and we're actually just now being a sponsor for the Beccles Summer Festival. So we're going to provide the stage for free, but we do. We're quite lucky. I have a drinks license, so we get to have some rights on the bars, and that'll help us raise some money also. So the man and van work and everything that we're doing, all the profits that we're raising is actually now keeping the barge to continually grow and be built, because to be fair, this time last year we thought, you know, we'd put in lots of applications for Sizewell, we put applications for lots and lots, the lottery, but the reason why we weren't successful was mainly because we wasn't a year old. So a lot of the requirements are that you're a year old CIC. When we started, we didn't expect to evolve and be anywhere near where we are now. We just thought we were just going to be a place where people came, did some voluntary work, and that was that, you know. But so now we're working, we're building, and we're starting to see success. We've got all the money ready to finish the outside of the barge and get up on the slip at the end of June. But we've still got to raise £80,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it? And it's quite daunting. We've got to raise quite a lot for here, and it's just like.
I remember the last time I was here, you were going to do the.
We are now officially a CIO.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's only been 3 weeks. That's why I haven't been to tell you about it, because you said once we get that to let you know.
Got you, yes.
But all that time trying to do it, and we're now officially CIO. So we had a bit of a celebration day, didn't we, on the out the front a couple of weeks ago? Yeah. It was an organised. Well, no, we haven't done that bit yet.
Not quite.
No, it was a last minute thing.
Okay.
A very last minute thing. So we were doing the day anyway for something else. And then we decided to turn it to celebration day. But once all that, because we've now got till October the 12th, so not long.
Right. Oh, okay. So
I've had somebody walk in today who I know quite well, who said, "I'm going to help you," and she likes to set things up and get them all going. Okay. And then once she's done that, she moves on and she does somewhere else. So she's very successful in what she does.
So all the works that you had planned here, they all going to be taking place now then? Is that going to happen?
Well, we got to buy it first.
Oh, you got to buy it.
You got to buy it first.
Yeah, of course.
And we still have no money. So this is what we. This is going to be talk about last minute.
Yes.
Because we've been trying to do this for a couple of years, and we've got till October the 12th to raise the money to be able to buy it.
Wow. Okay.
Or at least set the wheels in motion.
Okay.
So So we like to do things last minute here, and it's our chaotic sense of life.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of time to donate, so get in there and do it.
Lots of time to donate and help with time, or do a fundraiser of your own.
That's always a good idea.
Yeah.
We're actually doing a fundraiser ourselves. Actually, you're welcome to come over and join in. We're on the 31st of this month. We're going to be setting up the stage over.
You're not here, are you? 31st of May.
Probably not.
No.
Well, maybe you can put some some boards.
Yeah, of course we'll. Yeah.
Definitely.
Get involved in some way. You know.
And it'd be on the What's On. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So 31st of May, we're going to be putting the stage out. We're just actually looking out for some bands at the moment.
So what do you do on the stage?
I just set it up, really. I set it up and then I drink beer. No, I don't. I don't drink beer. I do drink beer, but I've got to be a sensible person.
I can give you a list of some local bands to get into contact with that are really good.
I thought you were about to say, I'll give you a list of beers.
You know what? I actually thought the same thing. I thought he was going to run.
I've got a list of beers you wouldn't have heard of.
List of beers, yeah. But there's a few really good local talented bands that would likely want to get involved. So
brilliant.
I'll write a few names down for you.
That would be lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, brilliant.
So is that Sunday the 31st?
Jack will do some
I
singing.
think it was a Saturday.
Yeah, I don't mind doing
I'm
some
pretty
singing.
sure it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh, okay.
I'll double check.
Okay, I can definitely do it on a Saturday.
Yes.
Some singing. Yeah.
You're gonna come and have a little song.
I'll come and do
Yeah.
those few songs. Yeah.
be
Listen,
great.
we've got a
I'll
free
join in,
stage.
sounds
No
good.
one's booked in,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
If
Yeah,
we're all doing it.
First on the
Me
roster.
and Adam can then.
Yeah,
Adam
definitely.
said he can. We'll come and do some
Yeah,
songs.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah, no, that sounds good. And we invite obviously anyone to come up and get involved. You know,
Okay.
we're just trying to, like you, raise money.
Yeah.
It's very difficult in a place, and we're in an economy at the moment which is just
I know.
crazy. Cost of living.
Oh,
is
Yeah.
just
And there's
unbelievable.
so many more charitable organisations trying to go for the same pot of money from
It's like the
everywhere.
hardest time ever, isn't it?
It is,
To
yeah.
do this.
Everyone trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
You've got an
businesses-
advantage because you have a barge, so you know.
Yeah.
there's pros and cons to this. The rent, the mooring fees, and everything else come to quite some money. So even just to stay afloat, it's
Right.
fun.
Hey.
But we were very fortunate actually. The council kindly gave us some money as a new startup last year, and we are still hoping, because we're still within the year of our CIC, we might be able to try and ask for a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's helped us a long way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the pressure on us at the moment is still astronomical, because without that £80,000, we are just a floating empty space.
Yes.
So it's still daunting times,
Yeah.
but with the work that I'm doing, the man and van stuff is really busy. We're doing a lot of that, and the event stuff. We hope, I think we can raise another 40,000.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have to find maybe another 40,000.
Well, it's having that positive attitude, isn't it? That we will do this. And
Yeah.
we keep saying when we buy this place rather than if we. It's like when we buy this place, because
Yeah.
it will not be through lack of trying.
Manifestation all the
Yeah.
way. Just believe. I know in my head. I know this will not fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And I
Just
know.
put too much into it for it to fail. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you the sum of money I've actually personally put into it. I've been the main investor.
Yeah.
Of the money that was kindly given to me. So I put that in. But I think with the people that we've got behind us, we've had some amazing backing. Jessa Sato she shares our posts a lot and gets involved. We've had a lot of councillors that have really been involved and been really pro us. And I think it's been very difficult, because normally, the challenges seem to have come during the process. And what I mean by that is, a lot of the time, charities or CIC organisations, when they start, they have to find the money to do it.
Yeah.
I was in a fortunate position to have the money to do it. So then when we sort of come along the process and we're finding all these problems, it's problems I would have known at the start, because I'd have had to have answered the questions or to get the money. So we're just starting to find now lots of things that we just need to tidy up and to clear up. We've got an onboard health and safety advisor, architect, and we are, we're still learning.
Yeah.
Still learning.
It makes such a difference having somebody, I was going to say at the helm. That was not meant to be a pun. I got my
Many puns.
somebody at the helm who is really believing in it and pushing it forward and coming up with all ideas. And I'm a massive believer, and we talked about this before, that there's no such things as barriers. They're just obstacles. And you get round that obstacle. There's always a way round. Even if you can't do it at all, you find an alternative to do instead. You don't just think, right, I can't. We've had people here say, oh, you'll never change to a CIO. You won't be allowed to change to a CIO. It's like, no, I don't believe that. Don't believe it. We were set up in 1964. There was no such thing as a CIO or a CIC or any other charitable organisation or business at that time. So things have changed. So we will be able to, and if the worst comes to the worst, then we just completely shut down the society and we start again from scratch, which is basically what we've done, really. But we've got, like me and Kit are just constantly trying to think of things in here. Now we've got Adam on board. And then in the fort, the gaming centre next door but one, we've got Ben and Zelly, who are just constantly, every day, thinking of things to do and putting on things themselves. So
it just takes one idea, doesn't it?
It does.
yeah.
You're always one idea from getting to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of the time, though, it just takes trying different ideas and getting used to failure. Once you fail, you just get up and you go again, you go again, and eventually something will stick. Like, you have
You
to.
think, that didn't work, so what's next?
I can't tell you the amount of time I've cried over this
I reckon-
project.
I can
genuinely,
imagine.
I'm not even, and I don't mean because I've hurt myself. I
No,
just
I
mean because sometimes I just get out of bed and I just go, here we go again. What's going to go wrong today?
Yeah.
Because it seems like more things go wrong than go right when you're doing this. And it could just be planning. It could be the weather. The weather, we were hounded. We had so much welding to do last year, and it just rained every day. We were only there 2 or 3 days a week. And for some reason, it was last year, every day we wasn't there was sunny. Every day there, it rained. And we were making temporary shelters. And, so it was crazy. But there was one other thing I did want to... so I mentioned to you about the 12-week program that we're running. So one of the things that so when I studied a bit of psychology at university, and which was it's helped me to learn and understand myself. I struggle with mental health, and so I have borderline personality disorder and ADHD. So I've always been I know it's a label, but it's a label that I've come to learn and understand about myself to help me develop. So one of the things, or the pillars that we want to help people to learn at Anchor Point House is to understand identity and purpose. That's our kind of key objectives. Get people to come along. We've got psychologists therapists who are actually willing to give up their time and do more induction. So basically, everyone that joins AP and gets involved in the course will have to undergo sort of an assessment, if you like, just to make sure that that's the right thing for them and it's safe and things like that. And one of the ideas that I've come to kind of I want to involve is a lot of people with mental health, they don't know they have mental health until a lot later on in life.
Yeah, true.
So, but there's lots of tests out there, and I know some of it's Google, and it's not like that. But there are lots of genuine tests to just give you an idea of who you are. Sometimes it's just your background, and you can figure that out and know that that's probably you are that way because of your background. But there's lots of underlying health conditions and mental health conditions that aren't ever diagnosed. So we want people to start having a find out a bit more about themselves during this process. The other thing was purpose, and when people start the 12-week course, because they get such a really cool and big trip, so the Barge might pay for them to do a camping experience. It could be a holiday, it could be a skydive, it could be anything. The Barge at the end of the trip, if they complete it with the right amount of attendance, then they will get something really big at the end of it, which the Barge will pay for from being a tea room bar restaurant. But when people sign up, we actually want people to come in really open-minded and actually work towards a purpose. And that purpose could be a part-time or full-time voluntary or paid job. So we've got a recruitment consultant that specialises in people with mental health and learning difficulties that can potentially find them placements. Or they could say, right, we want to have an objective at the end of this to go back to college. So we could find them a placement of something that they want to do. So during that process, let's find out what they enjoy and give them some ideas. Or another thing that we're really keen on is, if someone's got a business idea, we'd like to try and help them either signpost or help them personally to maybe start up their own business. So there is more to the course and the idea. It's quite...
Sounds brilliant.
Yeah, I think.
And do they... is this one of those things that it's like means tested on whether they have to pay or not? Or is it all free? Or
so the courses will be free. So the 12-week courses and the placements will be paid for by the Barge. Because bear in mind, a lot of these people will be over the age of 25, so there won't be any funding available. We're not just doing this because we want to find people under 25 to do these courses. If they're under 25, then great. They're still absolutely welcome. It will be on an application basis, and it will go through interview. And we're trying. If people are still undergoing. So one of the things that we need people to be in the right place. So if people are still sort of going through addictions and things like that, we need them to kind of get past those addictions before they're ready to kind of take on the world.
Go look for different kind of help first.
Absolutely. And there will be a process. We want people to want to. This is going to be hopefully a really cool opportunity.
That's another good example of places working together, because then they can go to a place of supports addiction, get them through that, and they can then refer them to you. This is your next step.
Absolutely. And we're hoping to get referrals from the NHS maybe once we're up and going, or certainly maybe mental health places. I mean, once we've ticked the boxes that the council require, health and safety, the fire regulations, once we've got all that in place, then we hope that we can then start getting people in to actually make a difference. Let's, get people to come in, understand who. This all stems back to my childhood. I had a very tough childhood, and once I actually understood who I was, and then I had a dream. And I don't mean the Barge. I mean my dream was just actually having a job and holding a job down at the time.
I think it's important for people to understand. Again, tying into what you're saying about people over 25, you don't always know what you want to do till later in life, and sometimes it can hit you. I mean, I always think it was the Colonel KFC didn't start KFC till he was like in his 60s or something. J.R.R. Tolkien didn't start properly writing until he was later into his life. Like, I didn't find out what I wanted to do till I was in like my late 30s. Like,
I'm still looking.
Yeah. I'm just in midlife. I think I'm just in midlife crisis. I bought Barge. You know what I mean?
Oh dear!
It was all part of the greater plan. It was the plan was always to help people. It evolved, and the people that I have become part of the team, and I do want to do a massive shout out to those guys because they're amazing.
Definitely.
The team at the Barge, you guys are phenomenal. We've got people who are come from social care. We've got engineers, we've got architects, we've got health and safety advisors, and we've just got a general team of people from all walks of life. And without you guys at Anchor Point House and at the Barge, none of this would be possible. So I think, in terms of the community spirit that you all bring together, it bowls me over every day because people do not miss days. Most people are there every day.
Fantastic. And I know he means that needs a round of applause button.
Oh, of course. Sorry.
I think so. And I know he means that because he's told me that away from doing all this, chatting. And we all feel the same. I always say the same thing about volunteers. Wherever they're volunteering, I think volunteers should be thought of a lot more highly than they are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I've heard people put volunteers down, and it's like, why? They're giving up their time for free.
It's the most precious thing.
Yeah, and we've had people volunteer here that struggle to get in, but they still come in.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of the volunteers, and you'll know, are people actually. So a lot of our volunteers are actually people who are sufferers of loneliness. Some of them sufferers from loneliness. Some of them have also had their own mental health issues from work and things like that.
That is the reason,
isn't it? A lot of them struggle financially as well.
Yeah.
And yet they still give their time up. And that's, that they could be... if you were looking at it from a more nihilistic point of view, I need to make money, be putting myself somewhere I can make money. But no, instead they're pouring their heart into something passionate, something real, and that's just something that can't be replicated. That's the beauty of the human spirit. That really is.
Yeah.
And we've not lost anyone, most of the people. I mean, the people that came from the beginning are still here now.
Brilliant.
And that's
wonderful.
We're nearly a year and a half old now. Although on paper we're about 9 months, but we've been going 8 or 9 months before we had to become a CIC. So.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I don't think when we came, I don't think you were a CIC.
We weren't. We kind of took some advice to be a unincorporated association, and as lovely as that is to not be governed by corporate, if you like, but it just wasn't viable. We've got to adhere to rules and regulations, and we've got to do it properly. We tried one way and it didn't work.
Well, you get more help, don't you? Now we become a CIO, we can go for different types of funding than what we could do as a society.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We better hurry up.
Well, it's normally me clock watching, isn't it?
No, that's not what I meant.
I meant getting the grant. They're trying to get me off the radio.
No. We've said when we've got guests on, normally we do it for about half an hour.
Yeah, we do, but
if we've got guests on, then we can stay longer.
I'm all right to stay.
Yeah, no,
get your coat. I've got
yeah, off you go. You said your bit.
That's it. Thank you. Moving on. Next person. It's like sales, isn't it? Right, we've got what you want. Off you go. See you later. Sorry, I'm guilty of that. I've done.
Dear.
It's been good to hear about. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I didn't even know anything about the Barge.
I feel a million times better just having heard about this project because it's so much more than last time we talked to Will. Because I didn't even know you were over the road at Alexandra.
It's moved on.
But it sounds like you've given so much to a lot of people already, and it's still growing and building. Because I always feel like because the world is dark, man, and the world is getting really dark, and I like to think that there's a renaissance contradicting that to bring out a lot of the love in humanity.
Well,
and
again,
it sounds like
There is.
you're embodying it a little bit, man.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and it's like I feel like I've got a hell of a lot more hope now, even though this is only just kind of grassroots and stuff.
Like we were saying with volunteers and stuff, the best way to fix the world is to just improve your little corner of it.
Yeah.
You can't
Absolutely.
change the whole thing.
I'm such an
This is it.
advocate of that.
You can't.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm
The
feeling
world is very
love.
centralised. We've got to decentralise it. So we've got communities.
Absolutely. And I feel that society pushes you away from that community, from social media and being enclosed at home and you love your neighbours.
There's an insanely individualistic streak in society, which is like, move away from your family. Don't get involved in anything community-wise. Just work.
Stay at home and watch TV.
I pay my taxes so I don't have to help people.
Yeah. Oh, and we're off.
Okay. Let's stop politicalness here. Let's stop that. I
I'll
feel
get these two started.
I know. This is going to go completely
I let
different
them
ways.
I say something and they go, and I just sit back. And think,
you trigger them and then watch
sometimes,
the outcome of it. I love that.
See, that's the first time they probably realised I do that because I've actually said it.
There you go. One of the, I think for me,
I'll forget by next week.
Yeah.
You probably both will.
I didn't realise I was getting manipulated so easily.
I feel like I'm giving my life to helping people, and I'm doing it without even realising, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm the same. Well, we all are in here.
I think,
That's what
of
we
course.
do.
There's a certain, I think, a type of person, and I think I always believe in a few different types of people, and I think it really makes a person. And I think you've got givers and takers, of course, and doers and sayers.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can just try and find a way to be a giver in some way, shape, or form,
And it has to be a little bit, doesn't
your
it?
soul will feel better.
That's what I love
Absolutely.
with our place here. They don't pay to join in most things, and they're in every day. It's free to come in and out. But I always say to them, this is their place, and they have, like Sean, bless him, sitting over there now, quiet as a mouse. Not usual. Sean doesn't normally shut up. Sakura's sitting next to him. You know Sakura because he normally sits here. He doesn't normally shut up, but they're sitting there really quietly at the moment. But
They're probably falling asleep, to be fair. Sorry, guys.
As soon as they come in here, it's a social centre, but as soon as it looks like something needs doing, they're just up and doing it. You know, and it's great, and that's what makes it their place, not just ours. And I always say, this is their centre, not mine. And we're a mess. We're always a mess. We'll have a mad day of tidying it all up. It lasts all of 10 minutes, and then it's there's a space to put something. So as soon as
Sounds like inside my head, mate. I've got to clean that up. No, it's amazing what you guys do, and obviously I actually follow you guys on Facebook, and I'm always and I know that my dad, who I know he's in hospital at the moment, but he's getting well. But I know he plays a little part, and
he's been a trustee for the last year or so.
Shout
2
out to
years.
your dad, Dem.
To Alan.
Thank you, Alan. Shout out to Alan.
We love Alan.
Get home soon, man.
Yeah, we're missing you, Alan.
He's awesome, and just on their note, you know, I was brought up in foster care, children's homes. You know, my mum was a murderer. I had to go through a really tough upbringing, and actually, Alan, who's a trustee, so him and his wife took me on. Age 12, very messed up, you know, lots of children's homes, foster homes, and just a really poor start. And Anne and Alan took me on pretty much on an adoption basis, but unofficially, they're still my parents to today, and they've supported me through my ups and my downs, and you know, and right now they just need some support from me, and I absolutely love them, and so I don't think I would be the person I am today without Alan.
Yeah,
and
that's
his
lovely.
partner, Anne. So,
That's brilliant.
Little sad story. Everyone feels sorry for
But it is when you
not like
speak
that.
to most people that do what we're doing and trying to give to the community, most of them have got some sort of story like that, whether it's through themselves or somebody within their family.
But I was then going to jump in and say it's the opposite of feeling sorry for you, because it's inspirational. Like,
it is
you've
inspirational.
come through all these difficult barriers, and yet you've come out the other end as you know, a genuine person. And not everybody makes that trip.
No.
Some people it destroys. Other people, I think it makes. You know, it can build you as a person.
Don't get me wrong, there was a middle ground here.
Oh yeah,
There was a bad ground.
But I think
But
the
I've heard
thing is,
about that.
You have to go through that, don't you, to get out the other side. And I think honestly, the more kind of suffering and difficulties you go through, the more empathic it makes you, and you start to understand other people better.
Sean would like to just say something.
go on,
Do you want to
Sean.
come to the microphone, Sean?
It did me. It changed my life coming here and stuff, because I used to be lonely. I used to be lonely, had no job, but since I've been using the centre, I volunteer here as well, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I've also got a part-time job now.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's right, because you didn't have one before, did you?
Yeah,
You used this as a reference, didn't you?
And like, this has improved my life, and like, I'd just like to say, everyone out there, just give a little.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think where you come from with that, Sean, I think that's, and again, excuse my pillars here, but identity, learning, you were lonely, learning what was going on in your own self, and then you got a purpose from it, and you seem you're very happy and very smiling, and I can see that you're really you're really good with that, and I think that's exactly what we want to achieve. We want to give people to understand that they're struggling, they've got this, but actually let's find a purpose, because I know that it will make other people smile the same as it does you, because it did once me.
But there's also a lot of broken people who are lost and probably don't really know what to do with themselves or how to fix themselves. And it's wonderful that someone who's been through so much is showing them, leading the way, showing people how, that connection and community beats addiction and loneliness. And sometimes people they kind of need a leader in a way. It's wonderful that you're doing it all well, because the world needs more people like you do.
Thanks, man.
And
Thank you very much.
There's going to be some brighter days to come, I hope, because we're going to be neighbours, so
we
this
are.
is
So we're definitely
going to be awesome.
Have to collaborate,
absolutely,
and do something really fun and
and I hope let me get my stuff going, but I really want to get involved in something.
We've got to get our stuff going as well.
So, but if I can, if somewhere we can help, we'll also help. It's all about collaboration.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
We'll look forward to working with you.
Yeah,
100%. We are
100%.
looking after the same people, aren't we?
We are.
And so it makes sense to work together.
I'm humbled and excited.
Yeah.
And I, thank you. And it was lovely to meet you guys.
And again, always, man. You should always pop by if ever you're around.
Well, if I know there's free coffee, no, I'm joking. I've got a free coffee today, but I'm happy to pay. I'm happy to pay my way next time.
You come in here and help. All the volunteers here, they get free drinks when they're in here, teas and coffees.
Got
and
some hard workers.
We have
got
very hard workers.
These we've got a few more. As always, towards the end of the podcast, they all start coming in from outside.
Yeah, we've got very busy.
But also, when we finish the podcast and we close up, there's so much stuff to be moved around, and we have all the guys help out.
They help.
It's brilliant. And we put a bit of music on.
These guys are hench.
When we get it in, we put some music on, we dance away, bringing the stuff in from outside.
Oh, that sounds right up my street.
And it just makes it fun.
I dread to think some of the things that cameras say.
I know.
Don't put that on air, obviously.
Keep that.
I was talking more about my dancing when I've been shuffling away there, just like a right fool.
Luckily, it doesn't keep it forever.
The amount of money we can make off the cameras for, are you being framed? We probably could pay this place off. In fact,
that's quite a good idea.
Probably, all business ideas from the crazy one.
Anyway, Will's got to get going, so we're going to have to. Will's got to go and pick somebody up. I've got to go and pick my grandchldren up.
Yeah. It's all go, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
All family as well.
Yeah, I've got some rubbish to pick up.
Does that mean you're throwing me out?
No, never. No. You have the key to the building.
Thank you. And we.
I wasn't mine to give away. Sorry.
You'll have to come and see what we're doing as
well.
We will.
Yeah, definitely.
Come back in.
Look, that'd be lovely.
What time do you close when you're there?
So we're there. We're working. So our opening days at the Barge is Tuesday and.
Next door. Sorry.
Next days are only Wednesdays at the moment, and we're there from 9 till 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, we don't finish till sort of 4.
Yeah, pop over if I'm not there. You can. The guys will.
Well, maybe we can come over between Bang and Crash and doing the podcast. We'll get this set up first, and then just someone will. One of us is going to have to stay here and we'll take it in turns going over.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. No,
awesome.
Good. Thank you very much.
We'll let you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Will.
Anything else you'd like to say that have you said it?
No, I mean,
I know you can talk for
I
hours.
can talk for England. I think I pretty much told you my life story in
I've just received word of the memory stick is filling up capacity. So.
The phone's.
I'll shut up now.
Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely week. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Check the What's On, and thank you to Will for sharing. Always loving this. Have a lovely week.
You guys.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.